Hi there. Welcome to our mini workshop, How to Apply for the BMCC Foundation Incorporated Scholarship. I'm Sam.
And I'm Tiffany.
We're from the BMCC Scholarship Office, and we'll be your presenters today. The focus of our workshop will be on the eligibility criteria for both the BMCC Foundation full-time and part-time scholarship, the requirements for receiving and keeping the scholarship, how to apply, writing your scholarship essay, getting your letters of recommendation, and submitting your application. Before we dive into talking about criteria and requirements, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the scholarship. The BMCC Foundation full-time and part-time scholarships provide up to $1,400 per semester for students who are looking to pursue and complete a BMCC Associate's degree. Each BMCC scholar is expected to work dutifully towards graduation while providing some form of service to the campus community or their community at large.
Students who are interested in becoming a BMCC scholar will have to complete an application process which will be outlined in this presentation. Each application will then be reviewed by our scholarship committee, who will then select the winners on the basis of academic excellence, their future goals, financial need, and the quality of their character based on their letters of recommendation. BMCC scholars represent the best of the college. After this workshop, you'll be able to show us why you're the best and why you should be considered for this scholarship or any of the other opportunities that are available to you.
Okay, let's go over the eligibility criteria for the scholarships. To be considered eligible for the BMCC full-time scholarship, you must have completed at least 12 real BMCC credits. You will also need to have established a minimum cumulative BMCC GPA of 3.0 or higher. We also ask that you demonstrate financial need. This is not meant to dissuade those of you who may already be receiving financial aid from applying. You definitely should, as long as you meet the other eligibility criteria. You should talk about your financial need in your scholarship essay. We will be discussing more about the essay later on in this presentation. Now let's get to the responsibilities of a full-time scholarship recipient. As a full-time BMCC scholar, you must register for a minimum of 12 real credits. These 12 credits must count towards the degree progress for your current major. Scholars are also required to volunteer and/or provide service for BMCC events or events within their own community. If you are taking any remedial coursework, you will need to complete it all by the end of your first semester receiving the scholarship. Finally, you must maintain at least 12 real credits and a minimum GPA of 3.0 for each concurrent semester on scholarship. The only exception to the credit rule would be your final semester at BMCC.
The eligibility criteria and responsibilities of a part-time student are almost identical to that of a full-time student. The only differences are, as a part-time applicant, you must have completed at least 20 real BMCC credits and have a cumulative BMCC GPA of at least 3.3. All of the other criteria and requirements that apply to full-time students apply to part-timers as well. If you have any questions about the eligibility criteria, tweet them to us at BMCC Scholars using hashtag BMCC Scholarship Workshop, or stop by our office in room S343 and we'll be happy to clear things up. Now that we know the eligibility criteria and responsibilities of a BMCC scholar, let's get to work. Here's how to start applying for the scholarship. Step 1 is to go to the BMCC website, www.bmcc.cuny.edu. Once you get onto the main page, look at the top right-hand corner. You should see a link to what's called the BMCC portal. Go ahead and click that. After clicking on the link to the portal, you should be brought to a page where you'll see an icon with big orange letters that says Log In Now. Go ahead and click that. Clicking the Log In Now icon should have brought you to the BMCC portal login page. Your user ID is typically the first portion of your student email address. Just leave off the @ and everything after. Your password will be the same one you use to access your BMCC email. If you should have any trouble logging on, please visit the Student Help Desk located in room S170. Once you successfully log on to the portal, you will have a desktop with many icons on it. Look for the one that says Scholarship Manager. When you find it, go ahead and click that. And voila! You've gotten to the application page. When you're ready, go ahead and click Start Application. You're already on your way.
Once you get to the application, please read through the instructions on the screen. It is advisable to read through the instructions more than once. The last place you want to make an error is on the application itself. The first few sections will ask you for general background information about yourself, such as your name, address, GPA, major, and so on. Please note that there are questions that you are required to answer. They will have a message underneath them that says, "Answer required." You must answer these questions or you cannot continue or submit the application. Questions without this tag may be considered optional.
Moving along in the application, you will come across the Honors, Awards, and Community Service section. This is the section where you want to tell us about any volunteer work you may have done, either recently or in the past, any honors you may have received, such as the Dean's List, or if you're a member of Phi Theta Kappa, you'll want to mention that here. Most students surprisingly have trouble with this section. But if you think about the stuff you do outside of your classes, you may actually be surprised at what kind of things you may be able to put here.
Now we are coming to what is arguably the most difficult, yet most essential part of your application, the scholarship essay. This is where you really get to shine and tell us who you are, what you plan to do, and, most importantly, where you get to convince us that you deserve this scholarship. The topic of the essay is to discuss your long-range academic and career goals, as well as your financial need. Some of you may be wondering, what is the purpose of this essay? The purpose of the essay is to allow the scholarship committee members to get a sense of who you are as a person and what you plan on doing with your education. Remember, this is a competitive scholarship, and your goal in your essay is to persuade the committee to choose you. Typically, you'll want to write a bit about your personal history or background. The key here is to let them get to know you a little bit, but avoid going into a whole life story. The maximum amount of words allowed for an essay is 600. And our life story can certainly fill that space and then some. It's best to be as succinct as possible with your background while still giving a sense of where you are coming from. You may want to include past academic achievements or accolades, and any current work that you may be doing, such as an honors project.
After you're done writing about your personal history, remember, keep it brief. You'll want to make sure to touch on each of the other portions of the essay topic, namely your long-range academic, career goals, and your financial need. When you've completed your essay, you'll want to let it sit. Put it aside for a couple of days, then come back and read it again. Do you still like how it reads? Could this line or that be worded differently to sound clearer or better? Once you've decided on these changes, if there are any, be sure to have at least one other person review your essay for you. Another set of eyes may catch mistakes that yours missed, or they may offer critical feedback that may improve your essay. It may be wise to have your essay read by your professor, a classmate, and one of our editors in the Writing Center, located in room S500, before you submit it.
If you need or would like more assistance on the scholarship essay, there is a handy guide available both online and at the scholarship office, room S343, called Writing the Scholarship Essay / Personal Statement. Here is the link.